at the airport, but I don't know if you got a chance to see that, Kay, on Twitter, that it went viral, a photo of an actual Bills folding table that was being unloaded, that was checked baggage from another Bills fan.
I did not see that.
They came in full force because some Reddit user earlier in the week had also said that the city of Jacksonville was banning all sales of tables to any out-of-town visitors.
We wanted to ask Mayor Lenny Curry about that, and then we did a deep dive and realized that it was a joke. But that was my first question to the mayor. Why are you banning folding tables, buddy? Great stuff, Will.
I love it. I love it.
Great season by the Bills. They should be happy about the future up there. A lot of questions as well. All right, we have 1 week of the postseason football under our belt, so let's dissect all the action from Wild Card Weekend with a special edition of Name That Playoff Team. All right, I have categories. You guys have these beautiful paddles you're going to hold up and see what corresponds to each category. Okay. So, after watching all 4 Wild Card games, guys, which team, name that playoff team, was most riveting and surprising?
Surprising?
Yeah, let's go surprising.
Okay. All right, I can do that.
I'll jump right in.
Surprise!
I'm going with the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
That was a game that shocked me for the simple fact that they were down early in that game, and then they were down late in that game, and that man right there put the team on his shoulders. Marcus Mariota put the team on his shoulders, and that defense in the winning moments of this game shut everything down. So for as good as the Kansas City Chiefs were on both sides of the ball, the Titans took control of this game, and I would say it surprised me in such a way that I'm on the bandwagon right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next week.
They did look great, and they came back, and that shows a lot of fight. A team that surprised me were these guys. I felt like they were going to come out guns blazing. They were going to throw the ball. They were going to run the ball with Gurley. And then we get to the game, and they're down 13-0 before we get out of bed, and Farrell Cooper's got some mistakes. Just a very conservative game plan. Kyle went through it yesterday, or earlier in the show, just punt, 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 and the number 1 offense in the league. And as great as the Falcons' defense is, they're not the 85 Bears. I was a little surprised the Rams came out the way they did.
I hate to pile on, but I had it in my hand, too. I mean, we look at the L.A. premieres. This was like that Matt Damon movie where they shrink him. What is that, downsizing? It fell flat. And, we've seen Gurley get stuffed before in the run game and not get off, but he always gets involved in the pass game. He'll have a huge screenplay or something. They targeted him 10 times. They just couldn't get it going. Very disappointing, except that the Rams had a little run in them, but disappointed.
Credit to these guys, though, who were my biggest surprise for holding them to just 13 points. This defense is legit. All right, next category. The season ended for 4 teams over Wild Card Weekend. Which team, to you guys personally, was most disappointing? Most disappointing loss?
Go ahead, Nate.
I'm jumping in right here. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. They had the lead, and Schrager, you brought it up earlier. You said in a I think it was UKB, you said in a post-Kyle Shanahan world where teams know not to make that mistake of having a lead, they did that. They blew the lead, and for as talented as they are, and of course we could talk about Kelsey, and you feel bad because when he goes down, it changes the complexion of the offense, but a lot of guys lost players in these games, and it's going to happen next weekend too. But the Kansas City Chiefs, though, they were one of the most talented, one of the most exciting teams all regular season, and they fell short once again.
Yeah, disappointing. I can't go anywhere else than these guys because after 28-3, seeing what the Falcons did, and we made such big news about how do you not protect that lead. This one was different because of the history of their ineptitude at home in the playoffs that we've heard about all week. They're up 21-3 at home in the third quarter.
Right.
And they had the NFL's leading rusher, and they treated him like he was an allergy or something. They couldn't give him the rock. So I think of the Chiefs fan at home watching this, and it's just painful time and time and time again. And, second half there, 0 points, 61 yards of offense, Chiefs. I don't know what to tell you guys.
So once you, let it soak in and you're a Chiefs fan, you're talking about these people at Arrowhead or, watching that are Chiefs fans across the country, what do you want now? Do you want Mahomes? Do you want Andy Reid out? What do you want?
I need a good drink in about a week to just decompress. Honestly, that game was, I think that loss might have been worse than the Falcons loss last year in the Super Bowl.
Love it.
Well, speaking of drinks, I mean, this is really disappointing. This is such a cool story. It's not that they lost. It's how they lost. All these years to wait, and you're losing to Blake Bortles running. You score 3 points. I mean, they folded like the tables. This is not what I wanted it to see from. Who was the tight end, Peter?
Ben Koyak.
Bortles to Koyak?
That's literally a montage of Tyrod Taylor throwing the ball out of bounds.
He does that really well. He's the Joe Montana of throwing out of bounds. Credit to him. He just needed to throw it to a few receivers. Guys, Blake Bortles at one point in this game couldn't throw the ball. And I mean that physically. It was coming awkwardly out of his hand. He was so tense. At the end of the game, they have him under center just handing it off. There was no risk at all, and Buffalo still lost. Really disappointing.
Tyrod, honestly, if we were to do fantasy playoffs, and this is not a knock at Tyrod, it's also the offensive game plan and the way that Bills offense came out. the leading fantasy player for the Bills yesterday was their sideline.
Because they caught a lot of passes.
They caught a lot of passes.
Yeah.
Every single play was he rushed out of the pocket, throw the ball away, and that's a very conservative way to play. Maybe the only way you can beat the Jaguars. But man, was there just no chemistry on all. It was just like, it was so frustrating watching the Bills.
Shout out to LaShawn McCoy, though. Not 100%. Goes out there, has to
Balled
do
out.
Calais Campbell,
good.
and
Tough.
left his heart on the field.
No doubt.
Very
Right?
tough.
0-4 all-time in playoff games now.
Well, the worst. All right.
That's shady for
Last
real.
one for right now. Name that playoff team. The top 2 seeds, guys, in each conference host games this weekend. So between the Pats, the Steelers, the Eagles, and those Vikings, let's go. Which team should be a little uneasy? I don't want to say most scared. I hate saying that.
Yeah, a little uneasy?
Which
Sure.
team should have like the, lulls heading into
Little
the
bit of the
divisional round?
freakies?
Yes. I was going to say heebie-jeebies, but they're not grossed out. No. Like,
So the
they're
team
scared.
that should be worried,
Who should be scared out of
the
those
team that's
4?
hosting a game,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Patriots. And I feel like with the momentum that Tennessee is carrying right now,
What just happened?
Go ahead.
Listen, they're here now. So, like, at this point, you can throw everything out. I know Tom Brady's a GOAT, and I'll most likely pick
It was
the
an interesting
Patriots.
week for the Patriots, too, Nate.
Did you understand
lot of
the
stuff coming out of that
question?
building.
Can I re-ask you the question?
What's the question?
Of the 4 teams hosting, which team should be most scared? You're going with the Patriots, who are hosting the Titans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the
Talk about it.
The offense coordinator is most likely gone. The defense coordinator is most likely gone.
Okay.
And we saw last year what happened when Kyle Shanahan had one foot out the door. He wasn't focused in that last game. That could have got them a Super Bowl. The Titans right now are playing with everything that makes a man a man. I'm talking about pure heart, pure passion, and you couldn't look those guys in the eyes and tell them that they need to be scared of New England Patriots. Marcus Mariota is going to lead these men, and as we saw in the game against Alex Smith, who beat who that first game of the season?
The Patriots.
The Patriots. He looked Alex Smith in the eyes and said, I am the better quarterback today, and I'm going to will my team to win. So if it's the third quarter and this game is hanging in the balance, yeah, they should be scared. They're not going to run all over the Titans. I know that for sure.
I'll give them this. You don't beat the Patriots 40-30. You beat them with smash mouth. That's the way you beat them. We'll see. It's a big battle, man. It's a big
battle,
ask.
for sure.
I'm going to go with these guys. And, I look at that Jaguars defense. They've gotten the best of them once. And it's not so much that I don't think the Steelers will be better the second time around. It is that the Jaguars are too young to know any better. Like, they beat them last time, and they're not scared of...
Sure.
They're not thinking of Franco Harris and Terry Bradshaw. They're thinking, we played these guys straight up in their building and we wiped the floor with them. What am I worried about?
Roethlisberger want to quit.
Yeah, Walt Roethlisberger's talking retirement.
I don't know if I have it anymore.
And I'm watching the post-game stuff yesterday in the locker room, and it's Telvin Smith, it's Jalen Ramsey, it's A.J. Boye, and it's even Calais Campbell, who's 31 years old and knows the history of the game. They believe that they could beat the Steelers, and nothing scares me more as a Steelers fan than the Steelers thinking about the Patriots in their heads, and then here comes this great defense punching them in the mouth because they've already done it before.
Right.
Jaguars.
They got blood on their fists.
Jaguars. And Jalen Ramsey, he's going to embrace the Antonio Brown matchup and might be talking to him tomorrow. Like, this might get going now. I am so excited for Jaguars Steelers because the Jaguars don't know any better. They probably think they can win this game. And they might.
And they might. I'll put these guys up. We haven't seen them in a while. And I put them up because the most impressive group I saw all weekend, look, the Saints offense looked great. It was these guys on defense. So fast. You know one of those Falcons that dive bombs 300 miles an hour? And I'm telling you, of all the things for Nick Foles to see, a hot, fast defense who flies around like crazy, I don't think you want to see these dudes right now. I like them, but these dudes don't mess around. It's the Eagles.
I got to hear from Eagles fans.
You're like a
today.
puppeteer right now.
How confident are you as an Eagles fan going into this game? Struggling to put points up on the Raiders, seeing what the Falcons just did to the Rams, who score on everybody, like you said, running up and down the field. How do you as an Eagle fan feel today? Tweet us at #GMFB. That's it for